quick and I only have one QR code. And yes, I did cheat and use AI to do my slides.
And that's
Why not?
okay. It's a resource, it's a tool.
Alright, where are we going? There we go.
Nope.
No, wrong way.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
There we go. It's a PDF, so we have to scroll it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is so much.
Yes. I think it's better if we do. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 fingers.
Alright, so basically Campus Nature RX is a program that started out at Cornell University, and it really just looks at how to improve health by getting everyone out into nature. And so that's the really simplified version, but there's a whole book that Don Rakow wrote about that called Campus Nature RX that just really goes into the research and the science behind that. But for time's sake, we'll just leave it very simplified. Get outside and reap the health benefits of that. So why, again, we know that being out in nature improves the mental health, your physical health. For students, the academic performance, it actually improves their memory and their ability to focus. And one thing that's really important, and this is the reason that I decided to pursue the Campus Nature RX on our campus, is because every year there's a bunch of surveys that go out. We use the WISHES survey here at Texas A&M, and about 46% of our student body reports that they are lonely and do not have a sense of belonging. And so that is one of the main reasons that we see students coming in for counseling. We know that that impacts their retention rate, their ability to be successful in school. And so my job as the inaugural director of prevention and population health is really to take the public health perspective and do the prevention and look at the data and all of those things that impact health here on our campus. And so really looking at things that we could do that were non-pharmaceutical interventions that we could educate and implement campus-wide. And so I kind of started down the path of Nature RX, and we will talk about our journey. So last year in 2024 was the first certification program that Campus Nature RX offered. Prior to that, they had a bunch of affiliate members, and that was just, and we were listed as one of those because of the work of the people here in the room. And that was just a collection of universities that actually were looking at how nature can improve health. And so they launched the certification program. It is a competitive process. There's an application, there's a fee, all sorts of things. Last year, there were 5 universities that completed that program. This year, there's 4 of us, and obviously we were one of those that were selected. So, yeah, I won't tell you that I submitted the application at 4:30 on the day it was due, but, you know, at 5 p.m. So we launched this process in September. It includes attending all sorts of virtual trainings and then coaching calls. There's a whole list of criteria that we have to accomplish in order to get the certification at the end. Once we do become certified, that will be campus-wide, and we'll be able to use the Campus Nature RX logo on everything that we do as well. So we kind of took at the low-hanging fruit initially. I can control what happens in university health services. And have to depend on others to come to the table outside of that. And so I worked with Jay, who is able to do the training to train our clinicians. So we're already about 70% through that process. By the end of the year, all of our clinicians, both physical and mental health providers, in University Health Services will be trained to prescribe nature. And so they're really excited. They're actually doing that already. And we are the first university to have all of our clinicians through the University Health Services doing that. So
The little prescription pads are really cool.
yes, and I actually have a stack of them right here. So if anyone wants to look, you're welcome to take a peek at what those are. But we've gotten really good feedback from that already. And like I said, the clinicians are super excited to be doing that. Let's see. So again, working towards what I can control, these are some of the things that we're implementing through University Health Services. We have a peer-led program called Aggie Peer Connect. That was also developed to give students an opportunity to go talk to a student that was very highly trained, very knowledgeable of the resources on campus, knows how to make those connections, but also just to have a small space to really make friends. And so the Aggie Peer Advocates host all sorts of small events to really help people build those friendships and build connection. And so we're going to be launching another cohort where they'll have that same training, but they'll also have some training to really take students out in nature and really talk about the health benefits of that. And then we hope to also get the forest bathing certification, and really that's just being very intentional in nature and really using all of your senses to connect. And so that's another thing that the health educators and prevention and population health will be leading. So my question to you all is, what could Campus Nature RX look like outside of University Health Services at Texas A&M? We do have some unique spaces that we could capitalize on. We have a lot of research and a lot of people doing things with nature, but how do we harness that and work together to make this even bigger? So the academic integration is another thing that, you know, working with partners like Rec Sports and some of you all to really lead some of those efforts. I'm also on the education committee for the Nature and Health Alliance, and we are actually collecting syllabi from universities across the nation, and we've got about 40 of them. And so we'll be hopefully working through coding that process, and then making recommendations on hopefully creating an actual course that we can share with other universities. So that's a work in progress. And so to implement, these are just some of the ideas. Obviously all of you can be partners in this. We can host some signature events and have some impact projects like working through sustainability, maybe working with Rewild. And so these are just some areas that we have to tackle as we're doing our strategic plan in order to get certified. So, be part of the solution. How can you participate in this? What is your organization, or do you know other organizations who can provide funding? And at a minimum, just share your ideas, share the message, so that we can really expand across campus and hopefully in the community as well. And there is the promised QR code. I ask that you please scan that. That is going to take you to a form that just gets your information and how you may participate or recommendations for people. That's everything from being on a work group, being part of the steering committee, helping with the strategic planning, planning initiatives, whatever. We're hoping to have a kickoff in January, or February, cause the time's coming by really quickly. But I look forward to seeing your forms, and if you have questions, I will let you follow up with me later since we're on a time crunch, so.
Cool.
Thank you.